Well, good morning, everyone. And yesterday was a pretty good day, finally, for the baseball players. Um, in fact, we've had a few back-to-back decent days. I wouldn't call yesterday's both games awesome, but we did have a Game 7, and because of yesterday, we got another one tonight. We'll talk about the National League first. The Arizona Diamondbacks, who everyone counted out because they only had 84 wins the whole year. Well, they have forced a Game 7 tonight against the Phillies. And they did best last night. Play small ball with the occasional home run. And now, for the first time, you could say the pressure is on the Phillies. The Phillies have not felt any playoff pressure all year, but tonight they must be feeling it now. Everyone was penciling them in when for the World Series when they went to play against the Diamondbacks. Now that tonight they have a Game 7, so I'm sure that Philly crowd will be crazy. They've been crazy all playoff season, and anything can happen in Game 7 when you get that far. Now the other game, Game 7 between the Texas Shootout, the Rangers, and the Astros at Houston. The Rangers win 11-4. The road team wins every game, and the Rangers go on the World Series. This is the first I can remember where a division-winning team, the Astros, who's been to the ACLs 7 straight times, had a losing home record both the regular season and the postseason. Can't figure that out, but thank goodness the Rangers got on the board first and got ahead early because Max Scherzer was on the mound, and you know how I feel about Max Scherzer now. He's not the same pitcher he once was, and Max Scherzer got away with a average outing last night because the Rangers scored right away and deflated that home crowd and put a lot more pressure on that Astro team because, let's face it, Max Scherzer, his last 7 outings before that in the playoffs, he's been horrible. Horrible. He's 39 years old. He's not the same pitcher he once was. He's had a great career. He's had a real good career. I'm not going to take that away from him. But the man's past his prime. And if Bruce Bochy going to pitch him in the World Series, boy, you've been playing with fire. You've been playing with fire with that one. Regardless, Rangers will now have the home field advantage in the World Series where they play Philly or Arizona. Now let's talk some NFL. We'll start with last night's game. Last night's game, I cannot believe the 49ers lost that game. I thought that was a good matchup for the 49ers last night. I thought they would walk over the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins, who I'm no fan of, went 35 for 45 for almost 380 yards. Was not sacked once by that big 49er defense, which I was surprised at. And Brock Purdy has now lost 2 in a row. He looks pretty human after all. The Niners, who were once looking like a juggernaut just 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden have lost 2 in a row. Last week's game on 2 missed makeable field goals. And last night, let's face it, they didn't look good. They didn't look good on offense, and they looked terrible on defense. That had been one of the worst 49er defenses performances in quite a while. And the 49ers turned the ball over. They turned the ball over, letting that kill them. So the Vikings win that game. The Niners are now 5-2, and I can honestly say right now, the 2 best teams in the NFL are probably last year's Super Bowl teams, the Eagles and the Chiefs. And speaking of the Eagles, they finally played a complete game the other day against a very good Dolphin team that has been scoring at will against many teams. They win 31-17, an impressive home victory after that disappointing loss to the Jets at MetLife last week. So I think they're 6-1. The Chiefs are 6-1. They beat the Chargers. The Buffalo Bills right now are looking not that good. Other than that fact, they've beaten the Dolphins at home, and it was probably their most complete game this year. They have not looked good at all. And I mean, they're sleepwalking through most of these games. They could have lost last week to the Giants. They should have. They had called that pass interference call. And yesterday, the other day, they lost to the Patriots, a team that had been, 1-5 and was reeling. But turnovers again killed the Bills. And right now, people who try to tell me that Josh Allen is just as good as Patrick Mahomes. Listen, I like Josh Allen. I was hoping the Giants drafted him a few years ago. But if you want to go there, I'll bring up the YouTube clips of all the big turnovers Josh Allen does inside the red zone. And I will show you the YouTube clips on how good Mahomes is in the red zone. Sorry, let's just call it for what it is. And speaking of pass interference calls, the Colts had a pass interference call on them that should have been called in that game in Cleveland. That ball was clearly out of bounds and overthrown, but the Browns win 39-38. P.J. Walker, second week in a row off the bench in relief of Deshaun Watson, who left with the concussion protocol, has now won 2 games in a row for the Cleveland Browns. And for people who say spring football is useless, there you go. There's P.J. Walker. You got Kevontae Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Kurt Warner, NFL Europe League. So there is a market for spring football. And if you want to talk about disappointing, I was looking forward to that Ravens-Lions game. Boy, was that game not only disappointing, the worst game of the weekend. It was 28-0 Ravens before the Lions even got their first down. And as a Lion team that has been beating people up physically on both sides of the ball, well, they got a major taste of their own medicine yesterday, on Sunday. I'm not going to count the Lions out yet. It just might have been one of them hiccups. But this is my question about the Lions. They've been beating up the teams they should have. I still think they may go undefeated at home. But the Ravens are one of those good teams, and the AFC stacked. So this wasn't a real good test for them. We'll see how the Lions do down the road. I still think they'll win the NFC North. We'll see. What we got here? 2, 3 stops. As I'm working here. Yeah, I'll take that one. Not a bad offer. So, let's see. What time is it? 9:45. I got time. So, that's pretty much it from around the league right now. My Giants actually won a game against just as bad Redskins. Tyrod Taylor has looked decent in his role as a backup quarterback for Daniel Jones, but Redskins are a horrible team. The Giants could have easily lost that game. So, I'll take the win any way I can get. Win's a win. But Giant fans, we play the Jets this week, and that Jet team is physical. They're brutal. We still don't have an offensive line, so I'm bracing for impact already. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think. Go Diamondbacks, and we'll talk to you later.